A seemingly innocent drink on the beach has led to a near drowning and now an arrest.
He's getting handcuffed and escorted off the beach.
Hoppo spots a group of underage drinkers. They're also consuming alcohol in a restricted zone.
4 or 5 of them just with hats on, just to the north of us.
Are they in the water?
Just on the water's edge.
I hope their parents are watching that. They know how, just get demolished. They look like 12.
Maxy spots a fourth struggling swimmer as he gets his patient to shore. The boy happens to be one of the underage drinkers who were on the beach minutes earlier. Weak and disoriented, he could be alcohol affected or may have taken seawater into his lungs. Safely out of the water, he's not yet out of danger. Oxygen will help Jason breathe if he's taken water into his lungs.
Rest on your arm. Stay awake, open your eyes for me. Good boy. You swallow any water? You swallowed a lot of water.
And I saw him and he went under and he just...
Pain in the stomach? You got any pains in the stomach? In there? Yeah, Bisho, got an ambo, got a male, swallowed a fair bit of water. It's one of the guys who came down we spotted before. They've been drinking a fair bit.
With South Bondi becoming increasingly hectic, more backup is on the way.
That's it, it's all right, cough it all up.
Cough it up.
It's still difficult to tell whether Jason is sick from drinking, almost drowning, or both. When paramedics arrive, it's clear who needs to be treated first.
He's coughed up quite a bit of water. We brought him in. His breathing was fairly rapid when we brought him in. It's slowed down a lot and he was complaining of soreness in the throat and tightness in the chest.
Okay, was he alert when you got him?
What's that, sorry?
Was he alert?
Maxy? Maxy picked him up out in the water.
I did a rescue.
Yep.
And I looked out and he was struggling getting in. We saw him having drinks before they went in the water.
So you're breathing at the moment?
As Jason stabilises, it's time for sober reflection.
It's meant to be a nice day, have a couple of beers, have a swim. And all of a sudden, he can't breathe at all.
As soon as we're coming, 5 minutes into it, you know, it's messed up.
I'm never drinking when I swim again at all.
But for Jason's mates,
Mind your own business.
the lesson on beach safety isn't over. Police have been informed the boys were drinking on the beach. They now face a fine for consuming alcohol in a public place.
Don't grab.
This is the way I am.
Okay, this is what we're going to do, all right? You're going to come with us up to the police station, just up here to Bondi Police Station, okay? We're going to walk up there. Okay, we're going to give you a ticket and then you can go from there. Mate, you grab all these bottles, put in the bin over there.
Yeah, sure.
We got caught with alcohol. One of our mates is in hospital and they've been trying to bully me, so I've been bullying them back.
Where's the bin? Just there?
Hey, for that, they're already taking me up to the station. Wait, I got a question.
Grab all those bottles too.
Wait. Twicker wants to know what you're taking me in for. What's your reason for taking me to the station?
Mate, you're going back to get issued with an infringement.
Yeah, infringement for what? What's your reason for taking me back to the police station?
Drinking alcohol in a public place.
Drinking alcohol in a public place. Whereas I have no alcohol that is open on me.
Mate, grab all those bottles, put in the bin for us.
They have no warrant. The alcohol is not
Mate,
open.
let's go.
It's in
Hang
the
up,
bag.
let's go.
No, I'm not hanging up.
telling you, okay,
I don't
mate.
care what you're telling me.
Unless you want to get handcuffed.
Handcuff me. Do I care?
Oh, mate.
Nah, bullshit. Bullshit.
Mate, don't resist. There's people everywhere. This is how
Do I care? You've got no reason to handcuff me.
You had to make it hard, didn't you?
I was on the phone to my worker.
We give you a chance and you didn't take it.
Wait, they're not that bad.
I wanted to talk to worker, all right?
It wasn't that bad if you listen to them.
Please, come up to the station.
Bags is... Can you put all this stuff in a bag? Do you want to just come up to the police station with it?
Hey, Hoppo, they arrested the bloke.
Arresting him.
How's that? His mate goes to hospital and the other one goes to jail cell.
Mate, they're full of drink and it's an alcohol-free zone.
He's getting handcuffed and escorted off the beach.
A seemingly innocent drink on the beach has led to a near drowning and now an arrest.
Hey, mate, what are you doing to us? Please. please don't go back in the water. You're a danger to yourself. I know you've got sand on you, but you know what? You're going to fall over and you're that drunk, you're not going to be able to help yourself.
Drinking alcohol is illegal on Bondi, but difficult to enforce.
Drunk people, they know. We've told them a few times and I don't know what to do.
Despite repeated requests, the alcohol-affected friends refuse to stay out of the water.
Yeah, g'day mate, it's Dean from the Bondi Lifeguards. We've got a couple of really drunk people down on the beach. Oh mate, they're just swimming and they're paralytic and they're pissing people off, and if we could have the cops down here, it'd be fantastic.
They've come down the beach and tried to have a swim, but they didn't even have the ability to stand up in the shallows, so we had to move them. It's stupid. It's silly to come down and have a drink and then go for a swim.
Eventually, Beatty succeeds in moving the swimmers up the beach away from the water, but he's nervous they'll head back into the surf.
Girls, if you could do us a favour and not go back in the water for us.
I love the water.
I know you love the water, that's fine.
Yeah.
How are you, buddy? You're over with these guys? Yeah. You know, your friends went in the water and they were pretty useless. We're
Doesn't know how to work a stereo.
We're a bit worried. We're just a bit worried about he's going back in the water, also just the alcohol on the beach. If you wouldn't mind removing that.
No, that's fine, yeah, no worries.
All good. Okay. Quite happy to remove themselves off the beach. That's what they said to me anyway. Assured me they're not going to go back in the water.
Yeah, copy, mate. Just as long as they don't go in the water, I'll be happy.
Police will soon move them on, leaving lifeguards to turn their attention back to the water.
You know, the last thing we want to do is chase some drunk people off the beach, but if they're going in the water, it is a big hazard to themselves and the rest of people that are swimming. You know, we've got to put a whole load of focus on those two and neglecting the rest of the people.
Alcohol is definitely banned on Bondi Beach, but we can't stop people coming to the beach that are already drunk. Oh, look at her, she's got sand all over her. Look, she's gonna walk, she'll fall into one of these people for sure. So we got this woman on the beach, and I don't think I've ever seen anyone so drunk on the beach ever.
Don't really need to be dealing with her.
Mate,
Leave it.
I've never seen someone so paralytic.
What are we going to do with her? Mate, she's like Bambi on ice.
Yeah.
She can't walk, mate.
That girl down there?
Yeah, not annoying, but she's just...
Yeah, no, we've been watching her half an hour. Really, our main focus is the water. As soon as she goes to go for a swim, she becomes our problem.
She's going back in the water.
She was so drunk that all it would take was 1 or 2 waves and she could probably drown. Where is she? Oh, I think some people are grabbing her.
Yeah, I'll go down.
Yeah. Might just want to try and keep out of the water.
Bondi Central, Lukey, what's the go?
She alright? She's pretty blind.
It's coming to the point where it's starting to annoy us.
Hey, I found your sunnies.
And it's taking all of our focus off the water, and there's a few lifeguards that are having to deal with this.
Stay out of the water, you're too drunk and you're taking our eyes off the beach. Had enough of it, all right?
Kobe's giving her the stern word.
You put your foot in the water again, I'm going to call the police, I'm telling you. What the You heard?
So we just want to get her off the beach so we can get back to doing what we do.
Probably the best thing is to go home.
Yeah, she's going to hurt herself or something like that. So call the police and see how we go. This lady, she's drunk, she's making life uncomfortable for other people, and now she's becoming a menace. See that guy with the white singlet? Yeah. Chick sitting on that, she doesn't know that. Okay. Our ultimate goal is that she gets off the beach safely, she goes home, drinks lots of water, and goes to bed, sleeps it off. Coppers just came down and they just sort of escorted her off the beach, and now I can get back to watching the water.
A lady by herself drinking here a couple hours ago. She drank a whole bottle of wine and some more, and now she's not here, so I don't know what's going on.
The first thing that comes to your mind when someone actually goes out of their way and stops you, immediately you sort of think the worst.
Rhino to Central Reidy. The guy just stopped me before. He was concerned a lady was sitting down there by herself and drank a whole bottle of wine, and her stuff and everything and the empty wine bottles just on the beach. I don't know.
You got a location? Is it still there? And what about what the lady was wearing?
Yeah, I'm just going to head back and have a chat to this bloke. He was concerned, he hadn't seen her for about an hour or so.
Okay, copy, mate. Thanks. Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, enjoy.
It's probably a little bit irregular to be sitting on the beach at 3:30 having a glass of wine, so I don't know. There might be something in it. See what Jake comes back with.
And you saw her go for a swim, eh? And you just a few hours ago, and you just didn't...
About 3 hours ago, and she kept going back in and out. She was definitely drunk, yeah.
I might walk down there. Is someone in the tower still?
The bag's pretty close to shore.
I'm just trying to look out the back, but just in case, you know.
We're just going through this girl's stuff just to, I suppose, try and find her where she's from or where she is, you know.
There's a full bank there. They've got a set of flags up there now. It's not like she's on the bottom.
Thanks so much. I'm gonna call the police now, and I'll do my very best to get back to you when I know something. No.
Yeah, Maxy, being mate, I'm off the beach.
No, thanks, boy.
What did you say?
So that's a work colleague of hers. She's got suicidal tendencies.
It's good to have that information, but then again, it's not the information that you really want to hear.
You could be sitting on the rocks over there.
When Hoppo arrives on the sand, we know that he's made a judgment from his office and from the stuff being broadcast over the radios that we're going to have to scale this up to the next level. Got the chopper inbound. You can just see it over my shoulder here. It's going to do an aerial search, and that's really going to pick something up pretty quickly.
It's unusual the chopper comes. It doesn't come that many times a year, unless it's a really critical and a serious occasion.
Bondi Lifeguards, Lifesaver 1, can you read us?
Yeah, we copy you.
We've got the missing person has a black dress on, an Islander descent, and she's 39 years old. Last time seen, she was in the middle step of the flags and she was walking south into the water.
A little bit concerned that the chopper's sitting still. It's hovering over one spot and then hovering some more. You start to get that feeling in your pit of your stomach that maybe we've missed something.
Rhino Central, stand by. I could have something here.
The next thing I hear is a two-way transmission from Hoppo that he's got something. Now, this is where we hope that it's not the chopper reporting something, so we'll just stand by.
How far down? A lady came up to me and said there's a person that she had seen earlier that was walking towards the north end, and it sort of sounded a bit like that person.
Yeah.
And there she was.
If I'm not central, I've got her.
You don't have to sleep. I was worried where you went.
What?
Found your bag and no you. When I first got her in the Rhino, she was a bit disorientated.
We were concerned where you were.
So that's why we took her back up the tower, called the police, and the police then took her over and looked after her, and they also called the ambulance in. She's just sitting down in the shade there, and the police are probably monitoring her and making sure she's going to be okay. It's great when we find people before they've actually hurt themselves, and hopefully she can get help, and anyone else that comes down we can get, and they can get help as well. So it's a fantastic feeling for everyone.